Fitin10 Nation, it is day 43 of the Fitin10 challenge, first day of scans. Some were okay, some were pretty good, some were not so good. All right, so listen, I want to remind you guys, first and foremost, when it comes to your food, you got to watch your macros, and then, part of that is trying to get real whole foods. That is, if you can, somehow harvest it, that is, it's either coming from the ground, from a plant, from a tree directly, or you can kill it. That is animal flesh. Obviously, we're killing plants as well. I'm talking about animals here. Then that's, obviously gonna be food that is much more easier to track and manage. A lot of you have like foods that are a conglomeration of different things that are maybe not, made from scratch, and it's just questionable about what's in there. Okay, we want to look at foods we want to look at real whole foods. Okay, we want to get minimally processed. If you want to know more why about minimally processed, we can go through that. But we want to get through minimally processed, or we want to get in minimally processed foods. Okay, real whole food. I'm going to stress that. Seriously, okay? If we want to see change. All right, so I didn't really, I don't want to talk about too much about this unless you want me to. I can, but I just want to say one thing about alcohol. I didn't mention this yesterday, but I have mentioned it in previous videos. The thing with alcohol is it toxifies the liver, okay? Obviously, you probably know that alcohol is poisonous to the body, right? Thankfully, we have a liver, and the liver detoxifies the alcohol, unless of course we overconsume in one sitting and then we get alcohol poisoning because the liver is just, it can't keep going, right? There's only so much it can detoxify in a certain given amount of time. But what happens is if that liver it's toxified, and it's toxified on a regular basis, it can't do its job at helping to metabolize fat. And typically what I tend to see with people who drink more is they tend to have more visceral fat. That is, they have more fat in the midsection. Okay, and visceral fat's actually underneath the muscle in the midsection. It's typically what I tend to see. So, there are several reasons I don't want you to drink, but if we're talking just purely from a body composition standpoint, we want to have a healthy functioning liver so we can optimally burn body fat. We can metabolize fat. Okay. The liver is sort of like the bottleneck in the whole, when it comes to metabolizing fats, okay? All right, let's get to, I have tons of questions here, but this one came up in class. I'm gonna answer it right now. How do you increase weight when you're stuck at a certain weight? All right, so this is a very good question, and I will tell you with the rep range that I give you guys right now, yes, you are going to increase your strength, of course you will, but that style of training is not full-fledged strength-based training, okay? I mean, in terms of maximizing your strength. It's some strength but more hypertrophy, so more muscle producing, okay? So, I mean, ideally, if you want to train for strength, you need to train heavier, all right? So if you train heavier, like lower reps in that 1 to, say, 5 rep range, you're not going to build as much muscle. You're going to gain more strength that way. But if you really want to, stay within that rep range of what we're working with and build up that weight, typically what I would suggest that you do is try to build up your volume with a certain weight. That is, try to push for like more sets of 10, or so that's, let's say I give you 3 sets of 10 to do on something, try to build up to 4, 5, or 6 sets of 10 with that same weight. You can build up your strength that way. Or another way you can do is just increase the weight, drop the reps down, and then try to build your reps up with that. So if you're doing, like, let's say you're doing, overhead tricep extensions with 15 pounds, you can do that for 15 reps. And you move to 20 pounds, and then now you're getting like, 8. Then start with that, and then try to build to 9. Just go through 8, You'll probably see the next week you could probably do 9, because that's going to be closer to that strength building number that we're looking towards to maximize strength. And then try to push those numbers up every time. You know, try to get that 9 reps, then try to push for 10, okay? So that's what I'm going to suggest on that. Okay, 5 minutes in here. I'm going to try to make this video really short. So let's get to message of the day, and that is this. I kind of mentioned it in class today. The only way you're going to be able to succeed is to go through multiple, we can call them mini failures. We want to seek failure in order to succeed. You know, you have to think about anything any endeavor that is of any great magnitude requires a lot of effort, and within that, ups and downs. It's just the way it goes. So if you expect to achieve anything of any greatness, you gotta expect to go through failures. You gotta expect to go through these times where you really question yourself, where you really, basically ask yourself, am I meant to do this? Can I really achieve this, right? That's normal. That is, in and of itself, the journey towards success. Know that that's normal. I have to remind myself that all the time, even if it's just little things, because even little things can have, depending on how sensitive you are as a person, little things can get at you too, right? So, but these are all normal, and you have to accept that, and you need to push forward and keep going, right? You need to keep going and accept these little bumps as expected. So if you want success, look for the failures, expect the failures, welcome the failures. Know that every failure you go through is a step closer to, achieving success. I think Henry Ford went through I don't know exactly, maybe somebody knows out there, but 8 or 9 bankruptcies as he was building Ford Motor Company. You would think if you went through, if I went through 3 bankruptcies, I'd be like, okay, this is clearly not for me, right? If I'm building, say, a fitness business, and I went through 3 bankruptcies, I'd be like, I'd probably you're probably not cut out for this. But this guy kept going and going, and made it all the way through. So expect failures. It's the way it is. If you really want to do something, if you really want to achieve something, you got to keep pushing. That is the name of the game. Remember that, okay? Real whole food. I'm going to really stress that. Real whole food, and stay away from alcohol if you want to do well in this challenge, okay? All right, I'm serious. Positive energy, positive vibes. Oh, before I say that, you got to submit and commit, right? Submit and commit. We have just under 4 weeks left in this challenge. Got 27 days. 27 days left. I'll see some of you in the morning tomorrow. And if you haven't booked your scan, book it ASAP, www.calendly.com/train-on-main. Book your scan. I'll talk to you all very soon. Positive energy, positive vibes. Believe in yourself. And send me your gratitude. I'll talk to you all very soon. See ya.